Well, it's bright. There, oh, whoa. Very bright. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Featured Friend Friday on Melissa's Musings. I am Melissa Steele, and I'm waiting for fabulous Lauren to be joining us today. Facebook's getting its stuff together here. All right, Lauren is watching. Come on, Facebook. It's adding. I feel like I start every Friend Friday this way, like, is it gonna work? Is it gonna do it? I do this dance and then it comes, so yes. Hi, Lauren.
Hello.
So for those of you that don't know Lauren is one of the amazing real estate agents on our team. She's a rock star. We're not only now besties and fabulous agent buddies, but she's a rock star when it comes to clients and helping her clients and really standing in integrity and shares tons of similar viewpoints. So I thought it would be a great fit to have you on the show.
I love it. Thank you so much. That was like really nice.
Oh, of course. What did you expect? I love you. So we are talking about leaning in today. We were talking about this yesterday, like on a friend convo, and we were like, okay, let's get off the phone and talk about this tomorrow on the musing.
Absolutely. I know we're both very similar where we get like taken away by things. I'm like, we have to wait. We have to get on and talk about it tomorrow because we're going to blow through it all.
We're like 10 minutes into our prep call and we're like knees deep into this topic.
Exactly.
So yeah, we were really having a conversation around leaning in and what that looks like in life. And so often unexpected things show up in life, or things that maybe are a little bit tough to swallow or aren't necessarily what we want or envisioned in our plan.
Yeah, I mean, or for me, it's been stuff that's like happened a long time ago. And I thought like I was done. I'm like, I'm so much bigger and wiser and Oprah and Rihanna and Beyonce. And then things come up, I was telling you the other day, you have a conversation with someone or, life happens and you're like, whoa, or for me at least, I was like, I'm not over that, like
oh, that's still there.
I thought I was so Beyonce and I am not. Like I'm still in the trenches here about stuff. And so I think it's just shifting from like, sometimes you are Beyonce and you're ebbing and flowing and that's fabulous. And that gets you through. But then there are times when you're down in a dark place and you're like, oh, like these demons are coming up and I, did not deal with them the way I should have or fully or acknowledge that like they will come back. And I think that's like a misconception that we think like, oh, if you're over it, then it's like done forever. And
there's no more pain there or anything. Yeah.
That's just not going to happen. So I think for me, like leaning in is looking like acknowledging that things are going to be a part of my story. Like there are chapters that I will sometimes like have dog ears in and need to go back and look at them sometimes and like relearn the lessons. And then I can mantra myself into Beyonce again and like keep writing those chapters in my book, but those chapters are there and I can't like put them in the fire and like make them go away forever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I refer to that, people have different names for it. It's like the filing cabinet full of shit or the monkey in your ear or whatever it is. It's really interesting because I always tell people like the students that I coach, it's a lot of like, oh, I recognize that about myself and now I'm beyond that. But that's not really how it works. Your bad habits, the pains that you have, your past experiences, all that shit never goes away. But how do we emotionally process it, move through it, lean into it so that it's no longer holding us back? And that's really what we were talking about yesterday. Truly how, like you mentioned, like the dog-eared pages, like all the time, once we have the awareness and we're aware of it and we're shifting from it, we're like, oh, that can go away. Like I'm over that portion of me. But the thing to remember is that, that doesn't
I'm not in that relationship anymore. I ended that. Like
I'm over it.
That you've done, end it. And that doesn't affect like your inner emotions and things that will trigger it later on, or that next relationship you get in when something starts getting similar. Like you can't just close it up.
Well, yeah, and with the relationship thing, if you haven't actually worked through it and like leaned into it and truly actually processed and gotten over that shit, you're likely going to repeat your same exact relationship. Because
subconsciously, like not even knowing that you're doing it.
oh, absolutely. Because the world works that way, and the universe truly gives us the gifts that we get to learn over and over and over again until we truly learn it. Like me with my stomach issues, it's a constant relationship that I now have with my body. For 2 years, I was resistant to the fact that I had stomach issues, hated every moment of it, was in a total victim story around why me? Why is this my story? Like, why do I experience this pain when nobody else does? And then shifted into acceptance, started then getting better. And now I have this beautiful relationship with myself that when I start to get run down, my body's like, oh, hold up, take a rest, B. And so
go back to that chapter.
Yeah, let's go back to that dog-eared page. Remember how bad you felt then? This is a reminder. And so I tell, other people, you get to dance with those things. You get to notice them when they show up, and then it just allows you to shift faster each time it re-shows itself.
That's huge. I think that brings me to the point of just like things happening for you and not to you. Like you said, in the victim mindset, you're like, why me? Instead of like, okay, instead of this happening to me and I'm the victim and I have no control, it's like, why is this happening for me? Like, what is this doing for me? And just that simple shift of changing those two words around can literally like rock your world.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's not to me, this is for me. What is this teaching me? So that in my next, relationship or business or whatever, like I can learn from this, dog ear it, reread it when I need it later, and learn from it and keep learning from it like the rest of my life, not just today.
100%.
A bird ran into my window.
What did a bird?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is it alive?
I think that's like bad luck, right? What does that mean? Let's
say it's good luck since we're mid-musing.
Okay, does anybody know? Can I get a like for the bird?
Can we get some hearts for the bird that flew into the window?
Oh my
God. For life excitement. I like totally forgot. Like my whole train of thought too. I had something like I was like all prepared to say. I've lost that completely. Guys. That's gone.
Literally into my front window.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
And you have such a front window. So yeah, like as we were saying, back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, pivoting. Things happening for you and not to you, and learning
that question. If you even ask yourself, like even when the most abysmal of moments is happening to me, and like I can easily wallow in that self-despair, like I can absolutely sit in that shit. I am like one of those people that if I let myself, I will wallow in that corner for like a whole week. and like eagerly eat my ice cream in that corner.
Same.
So like if I let myself wallow in that, I will forever be in that space. Like it could be a downward spiral, and I've gotten myself into that situation many a times. But if I at least present the question to myself, why is this happening for me? Like even adding the why. Like if I don't have the confidence, this is happening for me. Why is this happening for me? And it at least brings up the question and allows me to think, because even in the worst, like totally awful situations, like John and I are slammed with a $20,000 bill we didn't expect type of situation, there is always a silver lining and always a lesson to be learned. Like there's never been a situation where I've just been shit out of luck and there was no silver lining or no lesson to be learned. Like that doesn't exist.
Well, and there's always a solution, and sometimes it does take you honestly sitting in the shit for a day. Sometimes it's like you're worthy of crying and being upset.
1,000%. I think that's absolutely, I want to take a moment to actually weigh in on this and like say that that's a necessity. Like when those emotions and those feelings are coming up, like it's important to lean into those and like feel them and let them out of your body and out of your system. Yeah, that's
absolutely
important.
And the fact that, say you get hit with the $20,000 bill, or you get hit with like a death in the family, or, so many various things, those all make you a stronger person. And I know it's so easy to say, but like walking the walk is actually really, really tough. So yeah, knowing that walking that walk and like that's what you have to do to the end game is sometimes really terrifying. And sometimes you like have to sob about it.
And sometimes you're like, I don't want to do this.
And, but after like a good cry or whatever, you need to do, you can like stand up and pull your pants up and be like, okay, let's do this. Like, I'm ready to own that bill. I'm ready to, own this failure And sometimes those failures or the bill, whatever, like that's going to make you a better business person in the future.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, a failure of like not getting a job is going to pivot you in a direction that you were supposed to go to. Like I always ask myself before I take like a big test or, you know, whatever, I'm going into a job interview or whatever. I always like my prayer or whatever, if you will.
Your
I don't
mantra.
know what like religion we're on here. Um, is just give me what I need, not what I want. Because sometimes what you want is not the best thing for you.
I
And
love
getting
that. I love
what you
that.
need. And I know, like, if I'm like, okay, and then after, if I fail the test or I don't get the job or whatever, I just have that comfort within myself of being like, okay, it's not what I needed. You
Oh, I
know, like it
love
sucks.
that.
I
I love
didn't
that.
want to pay 20 grand, you know, this blows, but it's not what I need,
I love
you know?
that. And too,
Yeah.
there's the interesting aspect of like the leaning in. I noticed that when I went to the camera, I was like leaning into it. And there's actually like science.
Also, side note, I'm just making this my own talk show with my coffee here. Don't mind me.
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, I've got my water, so we're good. My
Here.
hipster cup. Hey guys, I drink my water. Um, was so the physical aspect, so like the state of being, leaning into something in, you know, like coaching has training sessions that I've done, and in coaching in general, typically the physical body and the physical stance that you take for yourself will relay into mental state. So be present about how you're showing up in interviews or business meetings or interacting with colleagues, because if you have a tendency to kind of like lean back and cross your arms or like be out of the space.
I know so many people like this.
So many people,
with their shoulders up.
Yeah, and it's so this shows anxiety. This shows that you're not being receptive to communication. The fact that I'm leaning back shows that I'm not excited or enrolled in what the person's telling me. However, think about this body posture as compared to this body posture, and being so like leaning in and being forward and being excited and energetic and like as if you're truly attached and absorbing every single word that the person's giving to you. Your conversation is going to be so much more receptive, so much more beautiful, exciting, energy wise. Like you're going to be jiving as opposed to this. So there's actually something to be said there too about the physical body, which is fascinating.
Absolutely. I love tying that into like not only mentally leaning in, but like literally physically leaning in is perfect. And I love, you know, I'm all about respecting people because I want that in return. And like, I'm very much like do unto others, you know?
Absolutely.
So if you want to be heard and that's your end goal, you need to listen. Like you need to lean in and listen to everyone around you. Even if you think what they're saying is total crap, you know, you need to hear it. And sometimes you can get something super valuable. Again, it's like failing, but you're really succeeding. Sometimes listening to someone that you think is a total idiot gives you things that you never thought, you know, you needed to hear, or you never would have heard because you would have been like, you know, off in the distance.
Even if it's the lesson that there's value there. Like I've been in conversations like that where I've like been fighting the zoning off. And I've been like, stay present, stay present, stay present. And then they'll drop like this knowledge bomb on me. And I'm like, holy crap, I would have completely missed their freaking brilliance and totally discounted them as a human being had I not been present in this moment. Like, where is that coming from on my end? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And again, just like that same, just having respect for others and in return receiving respect from them, because then that creates like that mutual, I'm sure that other person didn't think super highly of you either. And when you all of a sudden are leaning in, like, excuse me, what did you say? Like, that was amazing. You're amazing. Who knew? Like, you know, and just own the fact that that's what happened. Then you've now created a relationship with someone who's like listening to you now too. And maybe they need you, you know, and vice versa, obviously. So yeah, I love that. It's great too.
Amazing. Thanks for being on the show, Laura. Let's say hi to these peeps watching. We had a lot of people tune in. I've got Rachel here. Dustin. Is this your friend Dustin? I've done a little Facebook stalking of you, Dustin. You're fab.
Oh my God, I love it.
He said, Lauren, you're one of the strongest people I know and have taught me so much about growing through things. Thank you so much for sharing this information. I love you so freaking much. Oh, Dustin, I love you too. I want to now be friends.
Yeah, you we'll have to have like a pool day. He lives in Vegas, so when he's in town, we'll have to go
Or
grab
maybe
coffee.
we should go to Vegas. No, I'm just kidding. And thank you guys also for watching. Those of you who didn't comment, I see we've got Jennifer on here, Paul, Anna, John, Mike. Thank you guys so much for all tuning in. It's so good to see you on here and for sharing your Friday morning with us and our beautiful faces. I knew you wouldn't be able to resist. What can I say? I love when you do this. And you're, hey guys. All right, so thank you guys for joining us for this fabulous featured Friend Friday featuring Beauty and Brains, Lauren here. She's one of the agents on our team, so if you want to work with her or us, this is the magic we're working with. And I think Justine, the other agent on our team, is actually going to be on My Musing next Friday. So keep an eye out. Hey guys, thanks for all these comments. Dustin, you're on fire. This video is absolutely beautiful. Oh, love you, my friend. Anna, so good to see you on here. Thanks. You are my biggest fan. She like watches all of my videos. She's my cousin and she's such a sweetheart. I love you, Anna. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys. There's so many people watching. It makes me sad to tune off, but you guys all have a busy life to lead as well. Love you guys. Here, sign off with a kiss with me. Ready? Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you later.